Hey guys, Stacey Stone here, and I'm with eXp Realty, but today I'm at Common John's Brewery. Thank you for letting us come in. And I'm here, I'm honored to be, well, I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. But I am honored to be here with Judd Matheny.
Good to be here.
And I met
Great.
Judd sometime back when he was in another campaign, and I have kind of watched him along and seen some things he's done, but I'm going to let him talk to you a little bit because he's running
Yes.
for Coffee County Mayor, and I hear he's wanting to do great things. So, Judd, tell us a little bit about your experience.
Sure. My background overall is I moved here when I was a year old. My dad was one of the first hires at Mayoral College. And that's what brought us to this area. And of course, graduated from Telham High School, and I joined the military between my junior and senior year of high school.
We won't hold Telham against you. No, it's still Coffee County.
That's
so.
right. went to that's correct. It is Coffee County. Went to basic training and came back, finished high school, then went back to the rest of the training. And then I was a police officer for about 10 years. A lot of that was during my military time.
Okay.
I was both a patrolman up in the Baxter, Tennessee area, the Cookville area, Putnam County, and I was a state officer for almost 5 years.
Okay, that was 10 years.
10 years total, yeah.
Okay.
And also did a lot of political work with Fred Thompson back in the late 90s. That kind of got be interested in politics, not ever as a candidate, but just as a person. Also got my college degree in criminal justice and political science during that whole time. And then I decided in 2000 that I really wanted to run for state rep. I watched the national political scene. I saw an opening here in this area, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but I just started. And I was fortunate enough to win and be reelected 7 times by this community.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I'm very proud of the backing that I've had from folks here. It's allowed me to survive up in Nashville in some major fights, and whether it's protecting your tax dollars or making the best investments for businesses and education. I've passed a host of laws that have done great things for businesses and have done huge multi-billion-dollar tax cuts. I did that in an unemployment insurance fund. So, done a lot of business type legal things in the legislature, a lot of local government type things. I sat on state and local government for years, that committee. Learned a lot about the laws that govern our county and our cities and how they interact with the state and how all those things work.
Well, one thing, let me interrupt you just a minute. One thing that I heard in all that is such a variety of experiences, but what I heard is reelected by our area for 7 times.
Yes.
That tells me about all I need to know. You did a great job, or the people would not keep re-electing you.
Folks have been very kind to me. I've been honest with everybody, and I believe I've tried to deliver on everything I've ever promised. And never had expectations too high on some things, because we're able to get a lot of things. Those contacts that I learned in that 16 years as being your state representative are really going to help in my tenure as mayor. The people that I was in the legislature with and that I kind of grew up with in politics as an adult are now in positions of leadership there. The Speaker of the House, Lieutenant Governor, both very good friends. Helped the Speaker of the House campaign when he first started. We go way back. The Governor and I are very close friends. I was at one of the very, very first meetings he ever had in 2016 to decide to run, and Bill Lees has been very good to me. And then Secretary of State, the Comptroller, the Treasurer, all these people that are on the State Building Commission and award grants. I'm not saying that we're going to get preferential treatment, but we are going to be treated equally from the start with every other county, and then my abilities to take things further are going to...
Well, and that's all you can ask. And in anything, politics, real estate, whatever it is, that networking is so important, because if someone knows your name and the phone rings, they're more likely to answer the phone.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
get that. So.
And I've just had a great time. After my 16 years, I ran for Congress. Was not successful. Big money game there, I promise you. But this county did vote for me for Congress also. I was proud of that, and several others. And then I spent 3 years as the general manager at Southern Central Iron and Metal in Manville.
A big difference.
Yes, it's a big difference. Got to go from being in politics and helping people that had problems with the government to actually being a private citizen that had problems with the government. Right. So I really came full circle in a big way on what it's like on both sides and how it interacts with each other and how frustrating it can be when you have to deal with the government and you don't get good service. Because you don't have any other options when you deal with the government. You have one government. You can't go down the street and see the other one.
Right.
So it has to be customer friendly.
Right.
A good model that I base it on is the Secretary of State of Tennessee, Trey Hargett. Very good friend of mine. He is like Southwest Airlines. He's got that reputation. He is the most customer friendly person in state government. He controls so much with regards to business records and licensing and libraries and, and historical societies and all. He's a fantastic man, but that's what I would model. A lot of the things that I do want is make sure that the employees in the county, the department heads, are all very respectful to people and make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to be heard. So as I make this full circle and was in the private sector for a good while, managing a business with over 30 employees and a dozen trucks and operating 3 transfer stations, which are solid waste transfer stations. We did about 750 tons of trash a day, still do.
Wow.
And then I'm involved in an operation still here in Coffee County that I work at. So and then I've gone to campaigning full time. I really want this position, and after Memorial Day, it's going to go super fast. And but we'll be stepping it up right after early voting. Voting is over for this election.
So that brings me, unless there's something else along that, because it sounds like your experience is all there. I mean, you've got a wide array. From the government side, from the citizen side. You know how frustrating it can be sometimes to have to go through the government. We have no option. We have to.
Good recap, yes, ma'am.
So tell me why you want to be mayor.
Well, I love this area very much, and my record in Nashville can absolutely prove that. And it's time for us to have a new leader in this county, somebody that is going to cast the gaze a little bit further out, but at the same time make sure that what we have is preserved. And that means that zoning and planning and the county commission, we need to all operate in sync, and as well as the 2 cities in the county. I've got a lot of relationships in Tullahoma, and I've got a lot in Manchester, and I want to bring those together. And
absolutely, I think that's a great idea.
And a lot of that's going to be communication. I want to have some steady meetings with the 3 mayors, myself and the 2, Manchester and Tullahoma, meetings with department heads, meetings with other elected officials, sheriffs and clerks and trustees, et cetera. I'd like to have a meeting with those folks on a regular basis. Also the employees. County employees, I want them to know that there is a chain of command that they have to follow for issues, but they can still come and talk to me. I might have to refer them back to the chain of command, but I always will be open to the county employees and the citizens as well. Most importantly, my office is going to be open. I'm going to be as accessible as I can possibly be. I'm going to be a full-time mayor, and I'm going to inject these things this energy into the county government. The county commission, I think, is a close ally that the executive should have, and I learned this in state government too. One of my main responsibilities is going to be enabling the individual commissioners to be able to serve their constituents, because government is best when it's closest to you.
Yes.
So I never want to create an adversarial or disrespectful situation between the commission and myself. I want it to be very close. I want them to be frank with me, and I'll be honest with them. We can all set politics and political beliefs aside to get things actually done. And I've learned how to separate those personalities, where you have, you may not agree with somebody philosophically on many things, but they've got a lot of energy and a lot of contacts and vision to do something that's positive.
Absolutely.
So we want to harvest that positivity. And we've got enormous opportunities coming our way.
You said something that, and I keep going back, but you said something like when we came on here, I said, well, that's Tullahoma, we won't hold that. So that I was kidding.
Yeah, I know, that's a joke. Yes, ma'am, yeah.
But that, just like you said, that has been an issue I see in our county. We should be a county, not Tullahoma and Manchester,
Yes, correct. And I'd like to see more involvement in that. And I think reaching out and making that happen, whether it's just small things, sometimes like all 3 of us in the Christmas parade together or something, just things that could show some solidarity and let everybody know that we're on the same sheet of music. As we get into this enormous opportunity period that I was broaching just then, we're next to the fastest growing city and community in the country. And it's just inevitable things and opportunities are going to come our way. Now we have to be able to accept those opportunities as a group, as a commission, as department heads, and be able to commit that we can provide the services and we'll provide the infrastructure for those. We have to do it in a predictable manner. I applaud Mayor Cordell, because he did put together a strategic planning committee, and that committee is looking way out at things such as water and broadband, which we're investing a lot of money in. And I applaud commissioners like Bobby Bryan and folks for doing a good job and taking our ARP money and leveraging it the most possible with folks like Ben Loman and TDEC. And those are the infrastructure expansions that are going to at least bring us up to speed. And then as new subdivisions are planned, new businesses, once again, planning and zoning and the commission and the cities need to operate in sync. because we don't want things to happen like happened in Rutherford County, unfortunately.
I was thinking the same thing.
We need to have predictable neighborhoods that are quality neighborhoods that are built to the best of our ability. We have to leave corridors open maybe for future roads, schools. We need to know that at some point we're going to have to build a school here or in this area. So we need to, it's better if the county can option or hold on to land or do something or work with a citizen to be able to hold a piece of land for future reference.
Absolutely.
Because
And
going back in and condemning all those things to do a government project is gotten very difficult now, if it's possible, and it should be hard.
well, that's what, you just said exactly what I have said a million times to people, because, I'm in the real estate business. If we don't plan our infrastructure ahead of time, we're going to find ourselves just like Rutherford County.
Right.
And the driving there it's hard.
Yes, the traffic's terrible. There's no, everything's just different. It's not laid out very well. A lot of crisscrossing roads, and that's very difficult for construction. It increases road costs, it increases utility costs in the future, and all things go up. So we have an opportunity. We have a blank slate for the most part. Now if you go to a commission meeting now, we're passing a lot of resolutions for a lot of new subdivisions and homes and businesses, and that is coming. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of homes in the Coffee County area right now that are in some phase of construction.
That's good. We need the housing.
We desperately need housing. We want to make sure that they're good houses. We want to make sure the neighborhoods are going to hold up for 20 or 30 years and be quality. We want to make sure the schools can serve those neighborhoods. And then we've got to understand, too, that business recruitment is one of the things that has made Coffee County, and especially Manchester, in the recent past. And we've got a great new industrial board director. He's just a fantastic individual. And we're going to be able to use him and use the energy that we have and put the right people in place, continue to put the right people in place on the industrial board and different committees that the cities create for strategic visions. And all of us work together and accept these opportunities and do the best we can to still preserve the way of life we have. There are many, many rural landowners here, and I understand fully that don't want these things. And I understand that. That's once again why zoning and planning and a good county commission that's in touch with the citizens is going to be so important. And I want to be a conduit. I want to be a conduit for the mechanisms within government, the budget, purchasing, HR, for the county commission to be able to utilize, not have to go around or feel like they can't have access to it.
Right. Well, those all sound like really good plans. So what would be the first thing you would do? Just go in and see how everything's running?
Yes, and I've been going to committee meetings and commission meetings and have for a long time, actually, for years as a state representative. And there's some things I'd like to do is improve what I see are some efficiencies that need to be improved. Nothing personal against anybody, but we need to modernize things that we do. And I think that includes making the commission meetings and the committee meetings videoed and live streamed where citizens can watch them live. All the committee meetings, all the commission meetings, they need to be archived so people can go back and search. Our government needs to be as open as possible. We need to make sure that items are sent in a timely manner for notice for meetings and resolutions at all times, and that all the commissioners feel like they have adequate time to peruse everything, ask me any questions, ask someone else, for us to bring in an expert or something for the commission meeting to testify. Anything that we would need, I would like to help support and facilitate that.
That's good.
And I haven't decided yet on how the meetings are going to be run. I'm looking at two different options that have to do that, but I'm looking at those very closely. So modernizing that, making sure that all the department heads want to work and want to work with me. I don't think there's any that don't. I've talked to many, and we've got some great folks in place, and I want to utilize them to the best of our ability. If someone doesn't want to stay, I understand that too, and of course means we might have to get some new people, and people that I get, I'll make sure that they have the best qualifications for the job. Also, when it comes to picking committees, I want to make sure that the people that own the committee system have not a vested interest in what's being said, but a community interest in what's being done.
They have to care.
They have to care, and they have to have some type of sense or education or something that really makes them an asset to that committee. And because the committee meetings are important, they take up time, and we're going to have some efficiencies.
It sounds like there's so many opportunities in Coffee County that, even maybe additional committees or, whatever's needed.
Yes, I've looked at all of them, and there's some great people on committees now, my gosh, and there's some other people that do want to serve when some opportunities come, so we're looking at that. It's in education here in Coffee County. We've got some We may look at some mergers in the future of one of our education systems with another. That's going to take a lot of logistics. We're going to have to make sure the funding stays intact and that, you know, the support for those schools. That means the sheriff probably is going to go to SRO program maybe if that happened, and so he's going to need more money. It's got a rippling effect, but it could be a much better savings in the future. So we're going to let the local school boards figure that out, and I want to facilitate what their decision is. One thing I learned in 16 years was not to get involved in everybody else's business. Tell them, y'all solve it. Tell me what you need, bring it to me, and I'll go get it done. Because if you get down there and you can spend a lot of time, and I would prefer to enable people to do what they need to do, and then they come to me whenever they need to do
Empower
something.
them.
Yes, that's the big
because
word,
they've
yeah.
got that interest in that area. Yeah.
There's so many people in this county that are so talented, so many things. You just have to, and I've been, once again, blessed to learn so many of them from all walks of life and all types. It's been great.
So is there anything else you'd like for the people to know?
Well, I'm going to be selfish and say get out and vote for Judd Matheny. It's the primary right now. I would love your courtesy vote. I will have an opponent, an independent opponent in the general, so we'll be hitting it hard. So I definitely want your vote. And I'll be launching a government Facebook page very soon.
Okay.
I have a website that will be under construction, hopefully launched about the time the primary's over. We've already bought all our literature, all our signs. I've got plenty of signs. You can email me at Judd, the number 4, Judd again, at gmail.com. Judd, the number 4, Judd at gmail.com. If you want a sign, I'll be glad to bring you one. I've got big ones and small ones.
We can put that in our post.
That's
after
right.
we
Okay,
come
great. And
out.
I've got magnets to put on your car, beautiful magnets. So anyway, vote for Judd, and I look forward to serving you, and I look forward to serving with all the great people in this county and seeing the vision of everybody and trying to focus it into laser beam, not shotgun.
Well, have you ever said you're not going to do something and you've done it? Because I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to endorse him. Okay, I'm putting myself right out there. I've seen great things. I'm hearing great things. My thinking process just kind of, I'm there.
Thank you, Stacey.
So I'm going to encourage you to vote for Judd. He's got the experience, he's got the heart, and he's got the will. And that's what we need in our great community. So I appreciate you joining us
forward to it.
today.
Thank you.
And if I do anything to help you, I certainly will. You guys get out and vote. We'll put his email in the comments. And thank you for watching us
If you
today.
need a house, so go see Stacey.
Thanks. Hey, I didn't even ask him to say that. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great evening.